Hello everybody, and get some booms in the chat for this playthrough for Expert Division in the Pacific Cup. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You find a little box on the bottom right here on the screen where you can click on it and then subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here in Team Tommy. Also visit golfclashtommy.com for all types of Golf Clash content for free. Tournament, tour play, golden shot, everything that you're looking for. Last but not least, crush the tournament together with us by signing up for the Ultimate Tournament Text Guides. Those can only be getting on patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link in the description down below. You will see an info box on the right hand side with elevation adjustment for the drive, for the second shot, also what type of ball I do feel is going to be most valuable for that particular hole, the same way for the club. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. Make sure you use the comments to ask whatever question you might have, and let's go with hole number one. Hole number one in Expert, and we are going to go for the green. And here you play with the driver that gives you the most distance combined with 6 bars topspin. We don't want to have more than 6 bars. 6 bars is enough. And here you see that I stretch out to look for the second bounce on the other fairway, third bounce in the rough, to measure how many rings am I into overpower. Okay? So the thing that I do then is that I release, I get back to normal position once having this spot. I adjust my rings, which is maximum distance plus 15. And then I push up 2 rings. Now you can see that I push up 3 rings because I was, will I fly too short if I'm not pushing up 3 rings? But only push up 2 rings, follow the structure that is instructed, which is what I should do. Now I am lucky that I just clip the rough there in the end and get myself to the green, making myself a nice and easy eagle. But the 2 ring push up there in the end would have been absolutely perfect. But, however, if you have a different driver, those amount of rings might be different because you might have a different accuracy and the rings are different size, or you might not have the same distance and you might have to push up even more, and you might have to go with a tiny bit of overpower. So very, very important. 6 bars topspin, 4.5 bars side spin to the right. Once you have done that, stretch out to see the second bounce on the fairway, third bounce in the rough, to make sure then how many rings, and measure that, how many rings you are into overpower. Then take a note of that, adjust, then push up those rings, and then you're gonna be fine, and you're gonna see yourself making an eagle on this hole every single time. So for hole number 2, we're going to play right hand side, and that is what we do in all divisions, and we're gonna do with that here as well. 3.5 bar topspin and as much side spin to the left possible. Half of the red ring inside the rough, but that is with an extra mile, so that might change if you play with a Thor's hammer or with an Apocalypse, as the rings will have different size depending on accuracy. So we adjust maximum distance plus 10%, so we need to make an over adjustment there. No overpower, no curl whatsoever. We just want to get the ball to bounce on the fairway, over the rough, and gain as much distance as possible without rolling into the rough. And that's why I feel 3.5 bar topspin is going to be absolutely perfect. For the second shot, you can see that I've been adding 20% elevation here. Then you maybe wonder, haven't we always been playing this one 0? Yes, we have. But now I'm doing something that I think is very important to learn, is that I'm tweaking the elevation to suit the adjustment here. So to be able to aim at the pin and then to compensate for the wind effect that we're having with the crosswind, I want us to add 20% from whatever distance we are playing it from. So now we play maximum distance, and we should be playing it maximum distance plus 20%. So now maximum distance plus 10% is what I did adjust, and we do need more as we're gonna miss on the right hand side. And that's one way you can use elevation in your favor. So that's why I want us to play the second shot 20% over adjustment, so we can keep aiming directly at the pin and don't have to go and offset. For the first par 3 in this playthrough, we are going to use a wood club with 6.5 bar backspin. And for those of you playing with sniper level 9 or level 10, that's the club for you to use. For those of you not having the sniper, you play with the guardian in no matter what level you're having. And now the trick here is to put the blue ring by the fringe, combined with the ball guideline to the hole with the spin added. Once you have added the spin, you go back and change spin to max backspin and 1.5 bar side spin to the right. It might sound strange for you when I just added 1 bar of side spin to the right here, but you're gonna see why, because we are still going to miss this shot to the left. To get that ball to the hole, we need that extra half a bar. So 6.5 bar backspin and put the position with the blue ring by the fringe with the ball guideline to the hole. Then you apply 1.5 bar side spin to the right. After that, you adjust maximum distance plus 20%, and that is going to be a very good chance for you making a hole-in-one. Hole number 4, we are going to play the route to the left. This because I do want us to give ourselves the rough bump for the pin. So now we're going to find a drive that's going to give us consistency. That's at least what I'm looking for. We do have a tiny bit of headwind, so I would suggest that you do go back and start. In this case, I would say start at +6, even though it is in +10. Go back to +6, then you will prevent yourself from going into overpower. 3 top spin, and I would say 2 bar of side spin to the right. 3 bars is a little bit too much in my book, even though it works. So 2 bars to the right, 3 bars top spin, and then we are starting at +6 to stay away from having to go with overpower. Now the second shot is going to be played with the Grizzly, and I would like us to play with the Grizzly due to its very good ball guideline in level 7+. If you do have a B52 in level 7+, that is also a viable option here. Aim for the hole, and now it comes something important here. It's like once we are adjusting here, we're going to go from a lower point to a higher point, even though it doesn't look like it, but it is like that. Which means that now when we are adjusting, we're going to gain distance all the time. So we need to pull back, and I want us to pull back 1 ring, not as little as I did there. This to compensate for the gain of distance that we're getting. Also now in the end you can see that I did under adjust my shot in terms of elevation, but also how important it is to pull that back and still use the 10% over adjustment. This is going to be, going forward, a very good opportunity making an eagle here from distance. And I truly enjoy this rough bump, but please don't forget to pull back 1 ring, otherwise you will not clip the rough, and that's going to be very dangerous. For hole number 5, we're going to play medium distance with a 35% over adjustment. And the thing that we're looking for is to play with our sniper using 4.5 bar backspin, and we're going to play with 4 bars of side spin to the left. And now take a look at the ball guideline, and you can see the ball guideline being approximately 1 green square short of the pin, with the tip of the ball guideline being like perfectly aligned going towards the pin. Now we're going to play medium distance, as I said, and we're going to play that one with a 35% over adjustment. 10 rings is what we're going to adjust, and now in the end we're going to hit the shot perfect, and we're going to bounce ourselves nicely towards the pin. And in this case we're making a very lovely hole-in-one. There is going to be those of you that do want to spend special balls in expert, and I'm going to start adding options with that, but now the option won't be different. It's just a way to show that if you have more special balls than you do have a kingmaker, then choose a special ball to play the same type of shot, 4.5 bar backspin, 4 side spin to the left, and then focus on the ball guideline, with the tip of the ball guideline being approximately 1 green square short, and then perfectly aligned with the pin in that way. And then we adjust medium distance with a 35% over adjustment, and then we're going to take the shot, and you're gonna see another lovely hole-in-one here in expert. So in this case, if you don't have many kingmakers or titans, then change to a more wind resistant ball. It doesn't have to be a win 5, it can also be a win 4, and you will still have a very good opportunity making a hole in one on hole 5. Let's go hole number 6. We're going to play this one with as much side spin to the left possible, and you can see that I'm only using 3 bars of topspin here. I would like us to play with 3.5. I think 3 is just on the edge of being a little bit too little in my opinion. Sure, it's going to work, but I do want us to play with 3.5 to give ourselves a little bit more distance to prevent us going in between clubs with a possible bad bounce here that we could get in sometimes. 10% over adjustment max distance number, and we get to 354. From there, we're going to play a max distance Goliath. That's in complete max distance. I'm not using any spin whatsoever, but the thing that I do is that I'm trying to get the ball guideline, the tip of the ball guideline, to point at the left side of the cup. From there, we play with no elevation, and we play max distance numbers in total. And here it is very important to also prevent from going in between clubs. The Goliath or the B52 is the clubs to choose between. Even though you might be comfortable with the Grizzly or with the Saturn or with the Backbone, the B52 or the Goliath does have more distance, and the other clubs will sometimes get you to go in between clubs. And now we're getting it in for a nice albatross. This is going to be an extremely good opportunity to get an albatross here on hole number 6. This drive is going to go really quick, and we are going to take this one more time. First, whatever apocalypse you might have, that's the club for you to play with. And we're going to just point it straight down the middle using max side spin to the right and 1 bar of top spin. Max overpower, and then we're gonna go with a full power slice, because now we're going to look for ending up on the fairway, giving ourselves a very nice approach with the thorn or the hornet. We take it again and look at the position here. 1.5 bar topspin is the key here. I'm just looking for the yellow ring to be just there by the rough, and have in mind here now, even though you have a different accuracy on your apocalypse, it does not matter, because we have so much fairway to play on that it doesn't really matter if you are off a couple of rings left or a couple of rings right. You will still be hitting the fairway, you will still be getting yourself into this spot, which will give you a very nice chance with the thorn or the hornet. And here we're playing this one slightly less than medium distance, but I'm playing this one, I'm playing this one medium distance and removing 2 decimals here. So applying spin, getting the ball guideline to go slightly through the hole. Want to have my first bounce on the green for a more consistent shot, and then adjusting and then taking my shot. And it is very, very important, everybody, here, that when we play a power slice, I would never suggest that if I would see a risk of us making a mess of it. But that's why I'm saying an apocalypse would be perfect. But if you play an expert and not having apocalypse level 1 at least, yeah, sure, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, but then you're just going to have to lay up the normal way. I think by doing a power slice here, we're not going for the green, because then we in an inconsistent way will sometimes be in the rough or into the sand and so forth. So we are looking for just with a ball with a decent wind resistance to lay up close to the green and having a short iron to the pin every single time for a more consistent way getting the eagle here on hole 7. So for hole number 8, we're going to play with the quarterback and with the sniper, because I want to look for the absolute minimum distance of our quarterback with the red ring just there by the rough for a very nice and easy setup. Max side spin to the right, and I play with half a bar of backspin, and you're going to notice the end result here, and therefore I can say I want us to play with slightly less than 1 bar backspin, so approximately 3/4 of a backspin bar together with a side spin for the best possible outcome. Minimum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and we get the ball to bounce and then to roll. And here you can see we're coming in to the left here, but also we're coming in a little bit too hot. That's why we want to add a little backspin, which will make the ball take the turn into the right sooner, and therefore a much better chance for a hole-in-one. Very good chance with a very simple setup, and a power 3 ball like the Kingmaker is, in my opinion, the best one here, because then we can put the target at the same place all the time, which in many other cases will be a struggle. For hole number 9, the last hole here in this playthrough, we will be playing with a little headwind. Disregard the level of my club, please. The only thing I would like you to have is an Apocalypse in no matter what level you're having. If playing with a quarterback, you will have to overpower, and I want us to stay away from having to overpower any club here with this driver. Half of the red ring inside the rough, and I'm using 6 bars topspin to display the same topspin bars, which is most common in expert. Sure, if you do have more, you might want to pull 1 extra or 2 extra bars there as well. As much side spin to the right possible, and then we're going to go with approximately 1 ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the right. And then we're going to get into a very nice distance, 350 yard mark, which is what we're looking for. And here we could be playing with the sniper here, but I packed the Cataclysm to just make sure that we do have distance enough going towards the pin. But if you feel confident with your driver, then pick the sniper, so you do have a good ball guideline going towards the pin for the Albatross, which will be a decent chance to get that shot to drop. But if you do not feel comfortable with your drive and feel that sometimes you will go short, then pack the Cataclysm for a very safe way getting the eagle here, like we're doing here in this video. Not getting close at all, coming in way too hot, but with a Cataclysm, the only thing we're looking for is the eagle in the end. And with a sniper, we look for the Albatross. 10% over adjustment, and then you're gonna be there. So there you have it, hole number 9. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Expert Division in the Pacific Cup. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and don't forget to hit thumbs up and use the comment section below if you do have any questions. Get the guides through Patreon, the Ultimate Tournament text guides, if you will, with me continue to crush the tournaments, link in the description down below. Thank you so much once again, and good luck in the Pacific Cup.